Ma'am, could you please guide us what role does research and development plays in the competitiveness of a medium scale manufacturer, especially when we talk about highly capital intensive and technically dependent steel industry? That too, medium and scale industry players, what our IFA members are.
Thank
And
you.
I would request if you can help us with some case studies, not necessarily giving the names of the companies, just certain datas.
Thank you so much, Mohit. Good afternoon, everybody. I think nobody would argue with the fact that R&D plays a very, very, very important role in any business. There is no doubt about that. You were speaking of a case study, Mohit, and I'd like to share what we have done here in HNK India. So being the largest supplier of quenching systems in the world, we have more than 500 Thermex licensees, whether they are in North America, South America, Asia, Africa, Middle East, Indian subcontinent. What we have been doing with every licensee is collecting data.
Sorry for my interruption. ये इतना तो हम लोगों को अपने लिए होनी चाहिए खुशी, किसी भी फील्ड में अगर कोई दुनिया में सबसे बड़ा मुकाम हासिल करता है तो उसके लिए ताली तो बज जानी चाहिए किसी भी फील्ड में हो. ऑल ओवर द वर्ल्ड अगर किसी एक एंटिटी ने किसी एक सॉल्यूशन में हम सबसे बड़े हुए हैं एटलीस्ट, एंड दैट टू थैंकफुली ये पॉजिटिव रीजन है, कोई नेगेटिव रीजन नहीं है.
Thank you so much, and thank you for the round of applause by Yogesh Bhai, Suman ji, because they all have our technology in their mills. And there are so many others out here too.
Your case study sitting here only.
Lot of them. They are in the front row, so I can see them, but I can see Prime Steel from Raipur. I can see so many others. I can see Jaideep Moria from Madhya Pradesh. So there are many out here. There's Rathi Icon. बहुत है. Mono Steel से भी हैं. They are sponsor. But I won't talk about that at this stage. What I was saying is that we have been collecting data from all our licensees year on year. It's called a daily inspection report, and we collect data of the rebars that they manufacture using the Thermex system. Now, what happens with that data? We are analyzing that data so that we can improve the quality of rebar which is made here in India. Why? Because 60% of India is in seismic areas. What does that mean? That means we need rebars that not only have high strength, but because of the seismic zones or seismic areas that they fall in, they also need to have a very good ductility, which means a very high stress ratio. But we have to produce this economically so as to be competitive in the current times. And we have to produce these rebars also keeping the safety of RCC construction in mind. So there is an economic aspect to it and there is a safety aspect to it, and we have to balance both of them. Now, what did we do when we found all that data and we analyzed it? We used that analysis to actually develop 500 grade rebars, which are high strength rebars, but with very good ductility. Okay, with very good ductility, which meet not just the Indian standard, but also the requirements, the very stringent requirements of the international standards. So here we are talking about the international standard ISO. We are talking about the American standard. So this data, this analysis helped us do this, helped us to produce these Thermex rebars. And it was done without adding any expensive alloys. So that is where the economic benefit comes in. So you have a high ductility rebar, which is very good from an RCC point of view, and you add no alloys like vanadium and niobium, so you get the economic benefit. Now, we did not stop there. So we made 500 grade rebars with these very great qualities, but we did not stop there. We took our experience one step further. We believe we are the first in the world to have commissioned a Thermex system which makes not only 500 grade rebars with this very excellent ductility parameter values, but also 550 grade rebars. And that is a global first as we understand it, made from steel billets without any alloys. Now, what is so special about it? This is a project which was commissioned in the Middle East in Saudi Arabia. When we were negotiating the order, the client had told us that we want to supply bars to the Neom city in Saudi Arabia, the new city which is the Saudi Arabia Sheikh's pet projects. So we believe that they bought this system and they commissioned it to supply those Thermex rebars to Neom city. It had to meet a very exacting standard, the American standard A706M. What is the name of that standard? Deformed steel rebars, low alloy steel rebars for RCC construction. We have achieved those rebars meeting that standard without alloys. So that makes it a global first. And we did this only because we've been investing in R&D, analyzing that data that comes from every mill year on year through what we call the daily inspection report. So I go back to the original point. R&D is very important. Nobody can underestimate the importance of it. When our chairman, Mr. Markan, started this company and brought Thermex into India, it was version 1. Because of this analysis and research, we are now on version 3 and galloping towards version 4. So that's all I wanted to share. I promised to keep it short and sweet, and I fulfill my promise. Thank you.
Thanks a lot for not just giving us the data, but also inspiring your own clients who are benefiting from your solution, that if they keep on doing what you have been doing, despite dealing into an internationally acclaimed version 3 of a technology, you are still maintaining that you do an annual checkup so that no hanky-panky things are done, nothing is been taken for granting. That shows that even all your clients who are sitting here, they should also invest into their annual, biannual retrospection evaluations and timely innovations and upgradations.
I want to share a small example here. Mr. Yogesh Mandani has put together this beautiful event where there's so much of knowledge and technology to be gained. He had once said this about our quality audit to an IIT professor, that the Thermex engineer comes to our mill unannounced, surprise visit like an inspector, to check the quality of the Thermex rebars being made from the Thermex system. And today we had one of our clients who's come to this exhibition, this very well-attended exhibition with a very good footfall. He came and he told us, he whispered in the engineer's ear, I'm telling this to you as the owner. Please, this is Sun Metallics here in Vada. Mr. Mayank Singhania said this to our engineer, you please continue to come unannounced. Do not tell the mill people that you're coming for your quality audit. So that's all I wanted to share.
Thank you, ma'am.